I'm stopping by your apartment on the minute my plane. Oh, okay.
This is 161st Street, Yankee Stadium.
Swung on and hit in the air. The deep center. Gets back, away back. She is gone.
All right, welcome back to the Boys of 161st Street, episode 119. Tough game tonight. Yankees split the series against the Orioles. Not a team we should be splitting games against. We'll get more on that later. We should not be splitting against the fucking Orioles. This is the time where we should be winning games. We got ground rule doubled. We had an opportunity for a pinch runner, which would have been a nice time for someone by the name that rhymes with Bike Schmalkman. More on that later. I'm pretty upset about that, but before we get going, today you got Luke, Damon, and Chandler. Murph is away on PTO. He put in his, he might have put his 2 weeks notice. No, it's just, he's on PTO. He's doing whatever he is in the mountains. But how you guys doing?
You know, happy. I'm iffy. I'm 50-50 because we split the series. But
Is that like a bad dad joke?
no, that was like legitimately like.
Oh, okay.
That's how I'm feeling.
Chandler, how you
It
feeling?
was a bad loss today.
Chandler joined the chat today, and his name. I always look forward to seeing the name when he joins the stream. And today his name is Poverty Franchise. So usually it's just fuck, shit, fuck, but this time it's Poverty Franchise. So how you feeling?
Obviously not a lot of positive names. Honestly, better than usual. You know what? I don't expect good things anymore going into series, so
I can't wait to see what your name's going to be on a bad day then.
I mean, you see it pretty much every other one. So, I mean, at least there were some good things that happened against the Orioles.
Yeah, there were, and we'll get into
new silver linings. I'm being
weird,
reborn into a positive person.
It's a bad color on you. I like it better when you're super negative. But yeah, there are some silver linings. But what do you guys want to talk about first?
The elephant in the room, Mike Tauchman. I feel like that's pretty important.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up because that situation right there. I was watching the game with Damon, and actually we have a split wall, and he was on the other side. I was like 2 seconds behind him, and we were behind everybody because we were doing it on the app. And I was like, wow, this is a pretty good opportunity for someone named Mike Tauchman to be in because we didn't have a pinch runner at all, which makes me think, because just for those of you who have been living under a rock and haven't been watching the game, we thank you for using us as your news source, but Mike Tauchman got traded to the San Francisco Giants. He actually went 3 for 4 in his opening game, starting at center field. Just, I am happy for him because he's,
Playing
one of the main guys on that team. Actually, that team's doing pretty decent this year, so maybe that's why they're retooling, getting some other players out there, but he was traded for, who did he get traded for?
Wandy Peralta.
I'm not going to sit here and act like I know the guy. I know nothing of him.
Either.
The only thing I know is he's a lefty, and that's probably what we're after. I mean, Britton's on his way back in May, so I don't really understand it. The bullpen's been great. So I guess, it's bullpen depth. So, you can never have too many bullpen arms, but I really don't like that we got rid of Tauchman. To me, was such a great asset to have, especially with a struggling Hicks. So, that makes no sense to me. It's the reason that we got rid of him because he's if he's not going to start, he can take other people's spots. He can, left field is whatever the hell's happening over there with Gardy and Clint. I mean, Clint's playing fantastic defense. That's a different story. He may lead the league in diving catches, all out, full extension diving catches. We'll keep track of that. I don't know if that's a stat that gets monitored, but we'll keep track of that. But I just feel like he's such a great asset to have. He's not going to be your, number one starter. He's not going to cost you much, and he's going to play damn good defense, and he's a lefty bat, which they love. So I don't really know why we got rid of him at all.
I mean, he was our first guy off the bench. And like today is a perfect situation where Mike Tauchman would have had a pretty big role in today's game and finishing the game out. And, I think we'll go into a little bit later just what Boone did today with the pinch hitters and then not fucking everything over, but it's been a good situation for Mike Tauchman, and especially because Gardy is the guy who needs to be playing right now because there's no one else, and especially because Hicks can't, he can't see the fucking ball. I can't watch him anymore. Like Hicks is so frustrating to watch nowadays. And
what was his throw? What was that throw? I mean, I know he wasn't gonna get him, but what the fuck are you doing, man?
He just playing like he's
He's
just
got a dead
showing up. He's
Looks like
just
he has a dead
showing
arm.
up to hang out, and that's all he's gonna do. He has a couple walks, and we're supposed to all just be like, okay, yeah, he gets on base, and so I'll forget about it. But the outfield positions are not. Heading into the season, that was our most stacked position. We were like, we have so many great guys, where we're gonna put them all. And now I'm like, fuck, we can't even field a good outfield that can actually produce runs. And throwing Mike Tauchman in those situations every now and again could have been huge. And I hope this Wandy guy is worth it, or else we just gave away a really important part of this team.
He's so
Think
valuable.
about this
That's why
at
I'm
just
upset.
like, think about this just, I don't even know, at surface level, whatever. If you didn't know any players, you trade away your position that you're weakest in right now, which is outfield, with Judge, who gets hurt from traveling, and Gardner and Clint doing whatever they're doing, and Hicks, who I don't think he could hit off a tee, and you're bringing in somebody who's below average at your best position, which is the bullpen. So just like without putting any names at it, what the fuck are you doing?
Yep.
Like, it makes no sense to me. I don't get. The only thing I can get is if Tauchman did something wrong, and they're just like, "Hey, you can either get traded, and you don't have to have this like story come out in New York that you're breaking team rules, or whatever." That's the only thing that makes sense to me ever. And like, I don't think that's a situation.
I mean,
there's been no indication of that.
Yeah, I highly doubt that, given the track record of some of the guys on the team. But we won't get into that one.
And Tauchman
No,
is
no,
just
no.
Tauchman is just such a fan favorite too, and that's why I'm a little more like just distraught about it. Is that he wasn't the best offensive player. He was a damn good defensive player. We have some fond memories of that catch and other stuff like that. But it just seems like a good locker room guy. He just seemed happy to be around everybody, and I personally liked him a lot. So I'm very upset about that, because I'm not gonna cry about it, because in reality, you know what? I might cry about it. But I'm just saying, I was going to say he doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of, like, is he going to win us a World Series or not? Is he the deciding piece? But he could be. We've seen him on the base paths as a pinch runner. He did everything that he was asked to do, and that's, I guess, where I'll leave it.
But listen to
Have
this, though.
fun in
because
San Francisco. There are bigger topics to talk about.
One of the very, 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 very few people on this team that does do what they're asked to do.
Yeah.
Mind you.
Think about it this way, though. Like, we've been getting into some pretty, some scenarios where we're in extra innings, and with this new extra innings rule, having bench guys is so much more important than it was when the extra inning rule wasn't in effect.
Yeah.
Take a look at today. We have Mike Ford on first and Tyler Wade up. That's a recipe for disaster if we're trying to fucking win a ball game here.
Sounds like what the Orioles should be putting out. Sounds like it's flip-flopped, and their closer's apparently disgusting. Let's move on. What are we moving to?
Did Derek Dietrich die?
I don't know. I mean, he has no spot on the team. He's not. The
Tyler-
Tauchman thing would be a good defensive outfielder and a pinch runner.
I'm
Dietrich
saying,
is neither of those.
Tyler Wade isn't like lighting it up. Why not give him I don't know. There's just so many things that I don't get. Like, if everything is clicking and you're making these moves and these are just small, inconsequential moves, that's fine. But when you can't do anything right, or very few, you know what I mean? Obviously, they do some things right here or there. But in the grand
Let's
scheme of
talk
things,
about
when
what
you're-
happened right.
when you're not doing things right, why? Let me make my point, then we can get into hot or not. If you're not doing things right, why can you not shake things up? Why don't you try something new? Obviously, what you're doing isn't fucking working. We've seen it, and I'm not saying that that's the permanent solution. I'm not saying Derek Dietrich is your starting first baseman going forward or your starting second baseman going forward, but why not do something to try and spark anything out of the guys that are your everyday ones? That's what I'm getting at.
Agreed. It's getting hot or not. We seem down. We did split against a shit team, but
we should have.
Some people there are some good silver linings that we can get into it right now, and there's some bad things. But who wants to take the hots this time?
I'll do hots. I feel like Shannon's in a Debbie Downer mood right now.
So let's pick him up. Let's pick him up. You take the hots.
You told me to be a Debbie Downer.
No, you take the hots, Chandler. No, we want him to take the hots, and you take the other ones because you'll be more critical of it. So that works the best.
Do it.
So For those listening for the first time, hot or not is basically I'm going to read out stats, lightning round. Chandler's going to basically buy or sell it. Do you think this is something that's going to continue going forward, or is this just a short-term thing? This is stats mainly from the last week. Sometimes I take a little bit of an all-year thing if somebody's a standout, but let's get into it. All right. Are you ready?
So ready.
So your boy, I'm glad you did the hots here because Luis Cessa is first on the board here for the hots. All year, this is a not week-long stat line. All year is 11.2 innings pitched, 1.54 ERA on 2 runs given up and 15 strikeouts. You buying or selling that?
So,
Of course you are. Damon, you buying that? We'll talk more on that later.
We'll talk about
Giancarlo Stanton, 7-game hitting streak, 385 batting average, 3 home runs, and 3 hits today.
I'm buying it.
Hell yeah. Mike King, 11 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 2 options.
Which part am I being asked on? The option
The
part?
pitching
or
part.
The,
This, I guess, this can apply to both hot and not, because the Yankees probably think he's a not, apparently.
buy that he is a productive member, sell that he is the best pitcher of all time.
Domingo Germán, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, flirted with a no-hitter, 0 runs, 1 walk, 6 Ks. It's like he knew his job was on the line.
Cautiously buy.
Corey Kluber, 6.2 innings pitched, first W as a Yankee, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 5 Ks.
Buy.
Honorable mention, I'll give Gleyber Torres because he had a couple of go-aheads, 9 hits in 7 days, and that's pretty good. So
big hit today.
Oh,
too.
absolutely buy that.
yeah, but I think that was a
He's
given.
supposed to be our superstar going forward.
So which ones did you sell and buy?
I sold Cessa because just no.
Personal preference.
It's not personal. but
Vendetta.
No, just no. He's had so many chances. This isn't like Loaizaga, who he's just got this sick stuff where you're waiting for him to find the zone. Like Cessa's been fucking shelled for years. I don't buy a 7-8 game sample size. Like
That's the whole season.
I understand that, but it's not like
It
he's
is
out there every
11.2
night.
innings, but
Mike King's 11 innings.
it's the point of this whole segment we do. So you're
Okay.
selling it off.
I'm selling him off. That's what I was saying.
I think I'm going to sell too, but not as harshly as you are. I think Cessa is, I like you said, I think you said it best with the Loaizaga thing. I think Loaizaga actually has stuff, and he's putting it together now. I think Cessa is a little bit overperforming what he has in the tank, and I don't think he'll be that, strikeout, swing and miss guy, but I do think that if he has this, at least remotely close to this, I might buy that. And that's not what I'm asking here, but I think me selling him isn't necessarily making it seem like he's going to be bad. I just don't think he can be one of the best relievers on this team. I think he's going to be a middle-of-the-pack guy who can eat up innings in a punting situation and sometimes in big, high-leverage situations. I'd prefer not to see that, but definitely like what I see out of Cessa so far, and I hope it continues. So you said, obviously, yes to Stanton. Stanton was I'm glad he made his way into the hot list because he was certainly not, and he was on the not list for a little bit of time. So I think, what is his batting average right now? Because he has a 7-game hit streak. Like I said, 3 hits today, 385 batting average. I don't think that was measured into the 385 batting average of 3 hits today, so it might be even higher, that closer to the 450 range. What was his batting average before? He was down to like under 100 at one point.
He's
right
up to
recently.
250.
Right now
He's
he's
up
at
to 250 now.
Yeah, he's at 229 before today's game.
I mean,
3
I'm
more
buying
hits.
that. He just looks good. Like, it's not home runs. It's not anything like that. He's just consistent. He's going up the middle a lot, which is cool to see. It's not the big fucking daddy hack at a slider that's 47 feet outside that he either waves and misses or, clips off the end at 100 miles an hour. Yeah. Like, he actually looks good. He's hanging in there. He's hitting balls hard to all parts of the field, which, I'd go a step farther. I'd say Mike Stanton I'm buying on.
Why is that a step further?
Because Mike Stanton is the guy we want. Giancarlo Stanton is the guy that gets booed out of Yankee Stadium and going 0 for 5 with 4 Ks.
But
Mike Stanton is he's the 40-50 home run guy.
No. He was Giancarlo in 2017.
I'm talking about look, man, I'm just trying to
I want that
pump the guy
Giancarlo.
up. look.
I love the fact that he goes out there, hits a home run, and then comes back and hits 3 singles.
We were talking about that before. I think that was I'm most impressed. If he had 3 home runs, I think I would be less impressed. Obviously, that is, 3 home runs is a lot better than 3 singles. But for his purposes, I think I'm more impressed with 3 singles than if he were to go out and hit 3 home runs in the place of those 3 singles. Because that means he's not doing too much. He's not doing that homer or bust thing, and we want that out of him. And every ball he hits is absolutely scorched. He's hitting them 118 just for singles. And you saw that one to the shortstop yesterday that just straight up ate that guy alive. And he's just, every ball he hits, whether it's foul, fair, or whatever, he is smoking the ball. And he looks confident. And he is, it's the stats speak for themselves in the last week. But,
Yeah.
Do we have home versus away splits?
You can look those up, but I don't have those.
I
But
don't know if you had them
I'm
up.
just saying, I am definitely more impressed with the 3 hits versus if there were 3 home runs. Because that's just more of the same if he hit the 3 home runs.
It goes to show he's actually like making adjustments and not trying to hit home runs.
It's not
like,
pressing.
Home run, like he's the type of guy where his swing is not that that launch angle swing that everyone's taught. Like he's a very like flat kind of swing, the old fashioned just like kind of down the ball. Home runs are going to come. If he keeps fucking hitting the shit out of the ball, home runs are going to come. So I'd rather him keep hitting singles, and then he'll hit the same amount of home runs. They're going to come. So keep it up.
Ready?
Keep it up, Mike.
Ready for this? Small sample size, of course.
You pulled
but
it up already?
Yeah, I'm a fucking wizard. So home games, he's hitting 184, 279 OBP, and a 726 OPS. Away games, he's hitting 300, 327 OBP, slugging 500 and an 827 OPS. Is the Yankee fans getting to him?
Maybe. They boo him every time he fucking strikes out, so.
Or grounds out, or pops up, or anything.
Maybe that's a storyline to keep watching, obviously. Like most things we're talking about now, small sample size, but that's definitely something to keep an eye on, just like I'm going to keep an eye on the Clint full extension catches going forward, so.
I love that.
Yeah, I think rounding out these, you sold... Who else? Domingo. I wanted to get into that a little more.
I didn't sell Domingo.
You said something
I said cautious
that wasn't buy. Okay, so cautious buy. Why is that?
I think he's good. I think he's always had the stuff, and I don't know. He's just always, I feel like he's always prone to one blow up inning, and he's kind of missed with his location here and there, which leads to those innings. Sorry, I just put my head away from it. My fucking headphone was falling off. But he always is prone to that. I feel like that one blow up inning. So that's why I'm kind of cautious. I don't think the numbers are going to reflect how good he is, but I say buy because I think he will be a staple and a consistent guy in the rotation.
I said it before. It's like he thought his job, or it's like he knew his job was on the line.
Yep.
And, he did win the game before that, right? That was the second win in a row. But this performance was absolutely masterful. Like, if one guy needed a hot start to make it onto this list, it is Domingo Germán. Because I literally think that maybe he wasn't this next upcoming start, but they were eventually going to start skipping his starts. And Devi, who just got optioned down, would be coming back up. And, that whole can of worms would open back up. But, I think with this start, it's going to be hard for Devi to make his next start or whatever it may be, unless they do that 6-man rotation thing, which, they're still doing bullpen days and they're outsmarting themselves, so we'll see what they do. It's impossible to predict the things the Yankees are doing this year with the pitching staff, but I really think if he didn't have a performance like this, that was memorable like this, that flirted with a no-hitter that I may or may not have jinxed, I'll take the blame for that. Truth be told, I told our friend Mike, who is not a baseball guy, I said, Domingo Germán's throwing a no-hitter, which I don't think counts because he's not a baseball guy and he doesn't care, so
that counts.
I don't think it counts. But
100% counts.
Okay, then I'll wear that one. But I really think he needed something like this, and it was fun to watch. It was very unexpected, and I'm happy for the guy.
Yeah, I feel like, at least my quick opinion is that I would buy right now. I'd be more confident to buy if he has another good start. Because I feel like Germán has been so streaky throughout his career, and he's had some great outings and then just some dog shit outings. So if we start to see another consistent good outing, then I'm all in on him. But he needs to kind of come out there and throw, another good performance. He can't just come out here and just do it whenever he feels like it.
So another pitcher that I think I was more high on coming into the season because obviously he didn't have any bad guy stuff on the back end. But
I love how you just call it bad guy stuff and lump it all into one. It makes me laugh.
Just a bad guy. So, Corey Kluber, not a bad guy, I think. So he comes out there and he fucking spins it. Guy's twirling it, 6.2. First W as a Yankee. And gonna be honest, I didn't catch this game. I was at softball. So if you guys want to give a little bit of an insight on the ins and outs of this start, I mean the stat line looks good. So
I watched the whole game and I think he looked really, really good.
fucking crushed it at softball. By the way, continue. I'm the best.
He
I'm
was
sore,
just,
but I stayed in.
You want to talk more?
I just thought I'd hammer.
Was it travel soreness or?
I sat on my keys.
You're what?
Don't worry about it. Continue.
Oh my god.
Is that a real thing? Just side note, I saw that from more than one. Either you stole that from somebody or that's like a real storyline.
Completely stole it from somebody. I thought it was funny, but go.
Okay.
Kluber looked great. I think he's not a guy who's going to blow the ball past you. He's not a speed guy. He's a location and movement type of pitcher. And he had all the right gears turning when he was pitching. He was spotting the ball up. He was throwing some backdoor sliders. He was, curving his two-seamer in on guys. Like, he was painting the ball, and it looked fantastic. And if he can have another outing like that, and then he just kind of builds off that, he's a veteran guy. And I think that once he has one good outing, he learns from that. And again, we've talked about it all the time. He hasn't pitched in years and years, and he just needs to get it going. And I think this was a huge milestone for him because he had all the stuff working, and he went back to his old self, kind of. And we need more of that. And I think I'm all in on him too if he can kind of again just be consistent.
It kind of reminds me of, not to as much, as greater of an extent, but a little bit of CC Sabathia as a guy who's reinventing himself. Now that he's older, he's been through some injuries, stuff like that. Like, I kind of think this was the game where it all clicked because he's flirted. He's with, being good again. He's given us 3 good innings, then kind of lost it or kind of lost velocity or whatever, In this one, he actually sat down and gave us a good start and everything clicked. So I think I'm not expecting him to win a Cy Young, but I think it's pretty. I'm exaggerating for clarity, but I'm not expecting him to go out there and be one of the best pitchers in the American League. But I really do think he's going to be good. Like, I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. I think we're going to see a lot more starts where he goes deeper into games and keeps us in it.
So if you were to buy any of these, if you like in Tinder, if you were to super like it, if you were to super buy one, which one would it be? Would it be Sessa? That's a sell. Would it be Stanton, King, Domingo, or Kluber?
Stanton.
I would agree with
I
that.
think we'll do that as a recurring thing.
I like that.
I think that was
super
fun.
like.
Super like.
That.
Yeah, I agree.
Charlie, you
I
a
agree
Tinder
with
guy?
Stan.
We don't have to tell your girlfriend. We don't have to tell her.
Maybe we can get sponsored by Tinder.
Maybe.
There you go.
Before we actually move on, we're going to get into this later. We might as well just talk about it now before we do the knots. Mike King. I put him on here as hot because obviously 11 innings pitched, 0 earned runs. 2 options. That's not hot. But why don't we just talk about the options right here? Because this doesn't make any fucking sense. And this has been a storyline since the last time he got optioned down. And he had 9 innings pitched and no earned runs. And he's just been dealing. And to me, this makes no fucking sense because he's so valuable for this team. He's such a valuable asset, and we were talking about it before. He could be that, long reliever guy that Chad Green used to be or still kind of is, but another one of those because inevitably a lot of the starting rotation doesn't like to go very long. They are starting to go 7 and 6 and having quality starts. I did see a stat that I thought was interesting that Domingo Germán, his start was the second out of, actually before the Domingo start, his was the 3rd out of 18 starts that were quality starts this year for Yankee starting pitchers. So it's just when the starting pitchers, and to define a quality start for everybody, it's 7 innings pitched and less than 2 runs or 2 runs or less?
I think it's 3.
3 runs or less. That's a quality start. And there's only been 2 Yankees to do it, and I'm pretty sure Garrett Cole's one of them, and he might be the second one. So it's just he's been so amazing for this team, and like I said, when they inevitably don't go long, he's a great long reliever guy. He's, in my opinion, I think I like him better than Sessa, but that's up to judgment at that point. But it just doesn't make sense.
not up
and
to judgment.
another thing, the reason why I don't like it as much is he's basically getting clinted. Like, and by that I mean he's getting just continuously sent down, a young player, and it's messing with their confidence. I get it. It makes sense from a strategy standpoint. The guy has options. You want to get some more pitchers up because he's not going to be in the rotation the next coming 10 days, and whatever it may be. It makes sense from a strategy perspective by the Yankees. I understand kind of why they do it, but it's not all X's and O's. It's not all about the numbers, and if you can get an extra 2 innings out of Wandy, whatever the fuck it is, it just doesn't make any sense because of the toll that it's going to take on this kid's confidence, who is just continuously being sent down. And I don't think that's something that they even recognize exists, because they've clearly done it to Clint to just no end, and he's been outspoken about that. Like I said on that podcast I listened to, it's just it gets to the point where this is just, it's getting mean at this point. Like, what more does he have to do to be up?
That's what I was going to say.
What more do you have to do?
What more can he do?
What more can you do
There's
to be up?
nothing he
So he literally would never have been not sent down. I said that right after the game ended. Mike King, another 2 innings scoreless. And then I responded to my own tweet and said, and he'll probably be sent down in about 5 minutes. 5 minutes later, he gets sent down. That's my rant.
Makes no sense.
I don't.
And no one
I
can,
feel
no
like
one can rationalize it either. That's the best part.
I feel like the most recent one too was literally just because, hey, we traded for Wandy Peralta. I don't care if he's the worst pitcher on the planet, but so we don't look fucking stupid, have fun in the alternate side or taxi
But again,
squad.
Chandler, that goes back to your point earlier of the bullpen's been working. Mike King is good. We have other guys who are doing good.
Yeah.
Why are we trading for another? It doesn't make sense. But
I don't get it.
regardless,
That's what I'm saying. I don't.
we could talk about that for
I think
hours.
I covered everything on
Yeah.
that. That was just my little gripe alert with that.
Gripe alert. Wee.
I'm just
Get into
blown
the
away.
knots.
Blown away. You never heard of gripe before.
Well, I've heard of it now, and we're talking about it. So these players I have a lot of gripes with, Chandler.
So when I don't
Oh, we're
believe
doing
in a
it to you
person,
now.
when
Yeah.
I don't believe in a person, I'm saying sell.
Yeah. You'd say whatever
No, when you
want.
do believe in them, you're selling that they're not playing. They're not going to continue playing this bad. You're buying that they're shit.
Now it's reversed.
No, do I have to turn the music off
You're-
and explain?
You're
No,
either
I get
buying
it,
or
but-
selling what he has to say.
I got it. No, I got it.
So these guys are playing bad.
I'm aware.
If they're playing bad and you buy them, that
I
means
got it.
they're going to continue to
I
be
understand.
bad.
Let's do it.
Made me stop my music. All right. Single teardrop down. Aaron Hicks, 0 for his last 17 from the left side. Some switch hitter we got in him. 7 strikeouts. A dead arm, it looks like, from the outfield in that last throw, and a couple other throws. Hasn't looked like the Aaron Hicks of old, and a 130 batting average combined in the last week.
Bye.
Sounds like that's a super buy, but we'll get into that later. Clint Frazier, 2 for his last 17. His first home run, so I'll give him that. Maybe that goes up into half hot. 5 strikeouts and 7 walks. So this was kind of a half and half, but, not going to put words in your mouth.
I'm selling.
Okay.
I believe in him.
Aaron Judge, not for offensive purposes he makes this list, but just kind of for being sore. So are you buying or selling his... I guess this is a good question. You buying or selling this as being a continuing thing throughout this year, that he's going to keep getting these sore days? It's like a snow day for kids in school, but it's just sore days. Like he'll probably be sore on the 3rd of every month and twice on Sunday.
I'm going to be optimistic and buy. Sorry, it's sell. See, it's fucking confusing.
It is confusing, but, when we talk about it, we can work out the kinks on that. So
Yeah.
maybe that isn't a buy or sell thing. Maybe that's just like a...
Yeah. I mean, quickly
Does
about
he suck or not?
quickly about Judge. I mean, when he's played, he's been, he's been great. And I think obviously the question is, can he play, right?
I don't even want to talk about that again. Like we need to remove that from our vocabulary. When he's healthy, he's good. Let's
you're right.
never say that again. It's
Yeah.
no longer that, because that's a given. Everybody knows his WRC plus is always going to be like 170, and you see those stats from Dan Rourke, who's the biggest Judge supporter in the world. And that there's no argument against that. He's a great player, but it's starting to piss me off. But
I have an
this is
argument against that today. Or as of right now, he's not even playing well this season when he's healthy. In his last 15 games, he's hitting under 230.
I think that's a little
better
bit
than
of
the whole team.
I think that's a little bit of the sample size bug going on there, but
It's the soreness getting to him.
I'm honestly, and we said it a couple episodes ago, that it's starting to become like you can't defend it, and it's really at that point. And I did see the counter to this on Twitter and in responses to our tweet, because I did say, Bryce Harper took a 97-mile-per-hour fastball to the face, and he's okay. He's not in the lineup tonight, which is what people were coming back at me, but that wasn't the point of what I was saying. What I was saying was, and to finish out, Judge, was out 2 days in a row for a sore or whatever the fuck it is. And
Lower body.
Yeah, whatever it is. He sat on his keys or something. And it's just the argument that some people were hitting me with was saying that, Yankee fans, he can't win with Yankee fans because when he does get hurt, they get mad, and when they prevent him from getting hurt by sitting him, they get mad.
What does that even mean?
You're damn right. Like, that makes no fucking sense. Like, yeah, I'm going to be mad either way because why don't I just have a player that doesn't need to be sat every fucking 4 days because they're going to get hurt? Like, that I have reason to be mad on both sides is what I'm saying. And that was a ridiculous statement that was said. And a few people said that, which made no fucking sense, but I digress. It's getting to the point where I'm just not even expecting him to be, like, he's great when he's there, but I almost, when I pencil in the lineup or when I'm looking at the team going forward, I almost omit him. Like,
I do too.
It's like great if he's there, like whatever. If you're there, awesome. It's like just I don't know what the word I'm looking for is.
No, I'm with you. Like,
it's an added bonus if he's there.
I might be a little bit like ridiculous with it or dramatic, whatever you want to say, but like when I think about this team and I'm like, okay, who do I need to produce tonight for us to win? Who's going to be there for us long term? Like, when we really need somebody, I just leave him completely off the list. Like, and it's not because he doesn't have the talent. He's just never fucking out there. Like, and I know people are going to come in and be like, he's played 78% of the games like this year. Like, okay.
And he looks hurt for most of them. So
exactly. He's playing 78% of the games, but 50% of those he's playing half-ass because he's afraid if he sprints his full speed, his whole lower body will just fall off. He's just going to cut in half on the way to first base. I think if he gives any effort. Like,
I think the way we just go about this is literally, like I said, it's an added bonus if he's there, but expect to not be with him on a given day, and then you'll never be disappointed. And, people were saying that on Twitter, and you were saying it, like, oh, no Aaron Judge in the lineup on the first day. It's like, yeah, we knew that, but it is still disappointing to see. So expect him to not be in the lineup, and you won't be disappointed. And then it'll be like, wow, look, Aaron Judge is on the field. That's cool. And then he hits a home run, and everybody's happy. So on his birthday.
It just makes the whole Tauchman thing even worse.
It's getting to the point where you have to start looking over his like superstar status, because in order to be a superstar, you have to play. Like, there's something that they all have in common, and that's they all are giving you 150 plus starts a year. And I'm not saying that because he's not, like I said, it's not because he's not good. And I don't think I'm overreacting. It's just, if he goes another full year like this, then you have to sit back and be like, okay, is he really the superstar that we thought he was going to be? Or was he a flash in the pan who, is good when he's there, but who knows?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I think, it also brings up, well, I don't really know how much I'm going to read into this, but I did see a report somewhere about like a conversation with Boone talking about potentially having Stanton take some reps in the outfield, which would free up the DH spot, which would then allow maybe Judge and Sanchez to get more reps in there.
Are we going to open up a whole can of worms now, and then he gets hurt again?
Yeah, so like I don't want to read too deeply into it, because they did say he was going to take some reps in the outfield during spring training, and he never did. So they say all these things, and I don't want to talk about it too much, because I'm not going to believe it until it actually happens. Then we can talk about it and then see what the options are, but something to think through. I don't know. I think if Hicks continues to suck and
trade for Tauchman,
he's again. Trade him back and then send Hicks go play golf for the rest of his fucking contract.
That's all he wants to fucking do anyway.
Is there like a
free returns like Amazon?
Is there like a statute of limitations of a trade? Like, can you just
that'd be funny.
Send it back.
Like every trade there's a 30 back money back guarantee.
Money back guarantee. Like, you see Tauchman goes out and goes 3 for 4, and we're like,
That'd be really funny.
backsies, Indian giving. Just, I'd like that guy back, please. I don't know. If that's possible, I'd like to have that.
Yeah.
Another little quick note that's unrelated to Mike Tauchman, Aaron Judge, but the Yankees it has to do with, is I'm pretty sure we beat COVID because they're allowing 100% capacity at Yankee Stadium coming when? June 1st?
July.
July.
You sure it's not June?
It's July.
I can't read.
100% sure it's July.
It's July.
I can't read.
We still have 2 whole months.
But you know what, though? First of all, fuck you. Who cares? 2 whole months. That is unbelievable news.
I mean, shit can go down in 2 months. I'm not trying to be a pessimist.
You're right. But am I happy that we beat Uncle
I'm
COVID?
ecstatic.
Yeah, I'm very fucking happy.
I'm
We're
thrilled.
going to get some very heated DMs on your wording there. I'm excited for them.
What? That we beat
Wait.
COVID?
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor. I don't know, but it seems like we beat COVID.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm looking forward to it because,
We'll let you answer those DMs.
We just relay information. We don't come up with
Yeah.
information.
Look,
Yeah.
man.
I
don't
just
create
read.
the
I just
headlines,
half
I just
read things
relay
and then
Don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah.
For all I know, the article could have said July 1st, 2022. I don't know.
I'm just happy that maybe summer's gonna be fun, but I'm just happy that means potentially just a playoff game with a full fucking crowd. That's awesome.
It's exciting. Yeah, it's
It's
exciting.
exciting
for
stuff.
sure.
That's just
Let's
something I
make,
wanted to bring up.
let's make the playoffs.
Oh, how fun.
One little note.
That would be fun.
While we're on the notes, I have another little note. This is a quick little thing. I just thought it was really funny. The team that beat us today has a 0.0% chance, according to Fangraphs, to make the playoffs. I think that's just fucking disrespectful.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't give them a single chance. I don't know if they moved the decimal over to one spot and maybe it was like 0.01, but that's just, it's a little bit rude. Don't you think? I don't know.
I think it's very rude. Like, they're not even, like, you usually put 0 when they're mathematically not able to do
like
it.
they're mathematically eliminated.
Yeah,
according to
even
Fangraphs on April 29th.
Even if it's August and they're not mathematically eliminated yet, you still have to put at least 1% or 0.5%. Putting 0 is so disrespectful.
They beat us.
Exactly.
They're ahead of us, actually.
So are we negative?
Big news,
Yeah, what does that
actually.
mean?
Yankee news. For the first time in the year of 2021, the Yankees have a 0 run differential. It is not negative. It's not negative.
Breaking news. Stay
My
classy.
news sound. Go fuck yourself, San Diego. Whenever you say classy, I'm forced to say go fuck yourself, San Diego.
Yeah, it's contagious.
Sorry for listening, Mom. You know she listens to some episodes. Kind of weird.
Yeah, my
Dude,
aunt
you're going to
does
get
sometimes.
so grounded.
Not happy about it. What else did I want to talk about? Oh. I want to say elephant in the room, but we've kind of talked about it for every episode since October 23rd. Is that when the season ended? Whatever it was. No, we didn't make it that far into October. But
No.
the Higgy Gary situation has an update. And we did, I want to toot our horn again, but we kind of did talk about this, and Chandler
we
made
gotta start
Chandler,
clipping this shit
Chandler made, no, we
because
did. We posted
We
it.
did.
We've been hot with the clips. The things we clip, they end up literally happening the next day.
No, it happened
Chandler
like
made
3
that-
hours after the
Yeah,
clip.
Chandler made that clip, and it was me with the pie chart, and I was depicting the shared time that Gary and Higgy are gonna be behind the plate, and I was just reading the tea leaves. But then you come out and you hear that. What was the exact? Was he named the starter? Like, was he?
No, he was
was.
being given more playing time that he's earned.
Yeah.
So exactly what I said. It's probably going to be a 60-40 split. Still Gary in the 60 spot. I said
Yeah, they
that.
start him and they say, yeah, Higgy's earned our trust. He's earned more playing time, and then bench him the next day.
Yeah.
But
And they're going to option him, yeah.
Yeah. But I think the conversation is, though,
Did they
that...
option Stanton yet?
What?
He's too hot.
What?
oh yeah. Everybody
Stan's
that's
too hot.
good, you either have
Oh,
to
yeah.
send him down or bench him. One of the
Chapman
two.
is unhittable. Send him down.
Yeah, exactly. That
How
seems
about
not fair.
Higgy's sliding catch yesterday? Gary
him
would
down.
have. He would have exploded if he tried that. Like
I
if he
said-
tried
I
to
tweeted
slide
this.
and make an athletic play, I legitimately think he would be out for the next 4 months with 2 torn quads.
I tweeted this, and I am starting to believe it. Sometimes I tweet things into existence, and
Darren O'Day.
more on this
Check the
conversation,
tape.
honestly. It makes sense. Yeah, Darren O'Day, check the tape. He hasn't been too hot. He almost made it to the not list, but he didn't have enough innings. He had 2 innings pitched, but
It's okay.
it's okay. Hopefully he doesn't stay not. But Higgy's kind of playing himself into a. We've never even remotely thought of him as a starting catcher. He's always been that backup. He's always been that. He's never going to be a starting catcher. I'm starting to think that there's a chance. He looks good. He's always been an elite pitch framer, elite defender, all that. Doesn't let it buy him. He's got great relationships with all pitchers, not just Garrett Cole. Not to say that Gary doesn't have good relationships with them, but it just, the numbers speak for themselves. When Higgy's behind the dish, and it's not rocket science that he's just a better defending catcher. And now he's producing offensively. Maybe he can't keep this up, but maybe he can. And if he does, that's a storyline to watch. Obviously, everybody in the world, not just Yankee Land, is paying attention to that storyline. But I think he's playing himself if he continues this into the next couple of years. Not only, we've had this conversation in more of a short-term lens as, is he going to, finish the year as a starting catcher? Is he going to be a starting catcher in the playoffs? I'm talking potentially if he keeps this up and Gary keeps his side of the bargain up, he could be, maybe we've just overlooked him as being, I don't know why. I think it's just been Gary as this dark cloud over him that he has never really gotten even a second thought, maybe this guy could be the starting catcher.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because he's been on the Yankees for 13 years, and that's why, if he hasn't been the starting catcher in the first 10, he's not going to be. But, I think that's really a strong possibility. But my question to you guys about this situation is, and obviously we just mentioned it too, he wasn't named the starter, but Andrew from Bronx Pinstripes tweeted a good question. He said, do you think that Gary lost the starting job, in quotes, not obviously starting job, or do you think Higgy earned it? Chandler, what do you think?
Mixture. Because, if Higgy...
Cop-out. Damon, what do you think?
I think Higgy earned it.
It's not a cop-out.
Better answer.
It's not a
I agree.
It doesn't matter if Higgy comes out there on his personal days and hits 1,000 with a home run every at bat, but Gary plays semi-competent. He doesn't win the job. It has to be a mixture of both because Gary's been the golden child for so long. They're not just going to give up on him if there's not a guy nipping at his heels.
Well, also, Higgy wouldn't have had the opportunity to win the job or win more playing time if Sanchez didn't lose it first. You know what I mean? If Sanchez came out,
he opened the door for him.
Yeah, he opened the door. If Sanchez was playing well and he was hitting the crap out of the ball like he's supposed to, then you can't take him out of the lineup.
And he smashed through that door.
Yeah, and Higgy just kind of came in like the Kool-Aid man. He was like, oh yeah, I am here, bitch. I hit 4 home runs already. I'm batting over 300, and no one else can hit the ball, and that's why I'm standing out.
I'm a great defender. It's just, I
don't want to get too nitpicky with actual baseball, whatever, but he's framing the ball phenomenally.
Mm-hmm. That's what I wanted
that
to say.
helps the pitchers so much. But just watching him, maneuver that, and then watching Sanchez try and do the same thing, there's no competition. He just does it so well.
Framing looks like a parody account. It's like when you look at a TikTok of a little leaguer framing, and he takes it from out of the dirt and frames it. That's what it's like watching Gary frame, but he does it seriously. I'm not a pro catcher, and I'm not claiming to be.
Really?
I'm not going to go coach anybody. I know this comes as a shock with this athletic build.
Breaking news.
Yeah, but watch Higgy. It's just smooth, man. Fuck. I don't know. It drives me crazy to watch Gary try and frame a ball or catch a normal ball that is not, hitting him in the glove for that matter.
Sanchez is like that little league clip of, remember like little league guy, he stands 3 feet off the plate and then tries to bring the ball.
It seriously is though. It seriously is. That's not that far of an exaggeration. He'll take a ball at a guy's eyes and yank it down. And you're just like, dude, come on.
I think you guys said it right. I think you know what? I said your answer was a cop-out. I don't think it's a cop-out because it is a mixture of both. But I do think it leans more towards these are your last days in the podcast. Send in you're getting a pink slip. But I think that it's the side is leaning more towards Higgy because Higgy, like we said, there's an opening, and Gary isn't playing astronomically bad like we've seen in the past where he just looks lost out there. He doesn't look great. He's batting 200 Mendoza, but we've seen him do far worse than that. He's not playing himself out, to answer, I guess, Andrew's question. He's not playing himself totally out. We have to. Here's what it is. He's not playing out so much that we oh my God, we need Higgy. It's just that he's not playing amazing or even good, and Higgy's just playing that much better. Like there's a that's what's happening here.
Well, I think that
And you got to ride with the hot hand, which is the first time for the Yankees.
you got to ride with
They
that
should
hand.
send Higgy down too.
Well, I think like, the flip side
I
of
feel like
it.
Brian Cashman right now.
Yeah. I mean, if it was Brian Cashman, if we were Brian Cashman, we'd be making some different decisions. And now I forgot what I was gonna say. Thanks.
It's
I
okay.
didn't do anything. Just calls him like I sees him.
Oh, what I was gonna say was, if Higgy wasn't doing, if
Light bulb.
Higgy wasn't hitting so well, then obviously like they would have been content with keeping Sanchez in there because everyone else is kind of dog shit, you know. So like that's why I do think it has to be a mixture. Like you said, Chandler.
We were talking
I think
about
at the very least, yeah, I'm gonna go. I think at the very least, they've realized that he isn't the long-term solution anymore. Like even if it's not Gary, or I mean not Higgy, like I think in the last 2 years they've really come to the determination that Gary isn't going to be here for the next 5-10 years. Like even if it's a free agent signing of some guy that's not a superstar, we're moving on soon.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anybody who has played this bad for 2.5 years and been like, oh yeah, he's like, I don't know what the Gary supporters. I'm not just hating on Gary to hate on him right now. I just don't see, like yes, he has a spot on this team. Yes, he could be the catcher in the playoffs. That still hasn't changed at all. I'm just saying to those people, what makes you think that he's the catcher of the future that we once thought he was when he came busted into the league and hit like 30 home runs in 10 games? He's clearly not that player. He may be a happy medium, and he may be playing really bad as of late, and maybe he turns it around. But I don't think that ceiling is anywhere close to what we even thought it used to be. He's not even close to the level of some of these guys, other guys' potential. It's just Glaber, I think, has been having a down couple of years, but he still has the super duper high ceiling. Judge, when he's healthy, all that, like he's so far behind those guys, and he used to be so close to them. So,
well, at least you see guys like Glaber making adjustments and doing better. Like Gary just continues to look exactly the same, and then he hits a home run to start the season off, and then everyone's like, "I told you so." We're the Gary haters now, and then we never hear anybody else talk about it now.
I just don't get it. If it was any other player, would you defend him like that? Or is it like
I don't get it.
Is it too much pride to like say you're wrong? Like I'll tell you, if I was wrong, like Andahar, I thought Andahar was going to be a perennial MVP. I'll be the first one to tell you that. It looks like I'm dead fucking wrong.
I said he was going to take Gio's job.
So did I.
It's been.
I want to keep like a Google Doc of our worst takes to date, and
Mike
just
Ford over
and
Luke
just
Voigt
once
is
once
my
a
favorite.
year. Yeah, once a year at the end of the year, like New Year's Eve, we just do a New Year's Eve episode and just read off the absolute worst takes. We should do that. We should have absolute worst takes and best takes, because we've had some like red hot on the dot takes, and also put a timestamp in between the takes and how quickly they were spoken into existence for that side of things. So that'll be fun. That'll be a fun little thing. And then we see who is the most right. We do a little percentage. Who is the most right, most wrong. Chandler, I think this sounds like a you kind of job.
Okay. I'll do that. I don't care. That's fine with me. Sounds fun. Maybe a prize
fun.
at the end.
Jinx. Free Mike King.
Yeah, for fuck's sake. Let the guy play.
Quick
retweet
question. What did you guys think of Monty today?
He's exactly what I expected him to be. He was good. Like I said, I don't expect him to be an all-star, but I expect him to be good, and he's been good all year for the most part. So
I thought
more
he
of
had
the same for him.
sneaky good game, but the thing I'm worried about is he only had one strikeout. Like people were hitting the ball.
But he's been a soft contact. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure he's been a soft contact guy his whole career. Like
He has.
He gives up contact, but it's like a lot of ground balls, a lot of bloops. Like,
But also,
and like
only-
even in
only
the
one
first
walk.
inning, yeah. But I mean, even in the first inning, we gave up the run. It was all ground balls, like just kind of squibbers and shit like that. Yeah, that's fine.
Squibbers.
Squibbers.
Free Mike King.
Yeah. Gotta let the kid loose, and then bring
Let the
back
kids
Mike
play.
Tauchman.
I'm going to make an... I have an idea. I have an ideas guy. I'm going to make a picture of him behind bars and just free Mike King. That's my profile picture, just free Mike King.
Love that.
If you're listening, Mike, we're here for you. Mike King Fan Club. Let's make t-shirts. Let's
Yeah.
put the picture of him behind bars on a T-shirt and just free Mike King.
Yeah,
I like that.
can make
I'm gonna do
millions.
that.
What happens if
Millions.
you pack a whole stadium with free Mike King? Do you think it wakes up Cashman?
You think
And
Cashman
boom.
listens?
If it brings him money, then maybe.
Has to.
Maybe we should get that billboard that John Boy got and just make it say free Mike King. I think that would get his attention.
Maybe like the guy that flew the plane after the Astros cheated. You know, the Astros are cheaters. A banner around it. Maybe we just
should
fly
do
that
that.
around Yankee Stadium. Free
Well,
Mike
we
King.
can find out, not in a creepy way, but where Cashman lives and fly one over his house.
Yeah, in the most normal way possible. Let's stalk a guy. Yep.
You know what I meant. Also, one more thing before we sign off and watch the draft tonight. Tyler Wade, you should be the best bunter in the league. For a guy who absolutely cannot hit, and I'm not going to hold back this time because we said it in that clip, and we were being nice too, like earlier this season before he got, sent down. And he got sent down for reasons, not for, being too good that we have to send you down like most people on the Yankees. It's just Tyler Wade, that lol, all right, bet we'll see, or wait and see, like I'm going to be a good hitter, you still stink at hitting. And for somebody who's so bad at hitting, like you should be the best bunter in the league. With that kind of speed too, why are you not practicing bunting every second of every day? He clearly doesn't even know how to bunt.
Dude, it was
I said it to you
embarrassing.
on that one pitch on the outside corner. I was like, that is a perfect drag bunt opportunity. Not only can you move the guy over, because this was an extra innings and there's a guy on second, not only can you move the guy over with ease to third base, but you can also get a fucking hit, and then you got no outs, and you got first and third. Yankees are probably grounded as a double play, but how are you not the best bunter in the league?
But we're also-
Chandler can bunt.
We're also not asking for a
Alright, why-
drag bunt and make it to first. We're asking you to
Time-
just put the ball 2 feet in front
No,
of
but
you.
I was just saying that was such a perfect pitch. It was that much easier to bunt. That
Right.
you could have gotten a
Respectfully.
nice, easy drag bunt.
I would like to interject here. I
He got
I don't know
out.
why you say
He got out.
even.
He
I
got
don't know
out.
why you
He
say
struck
even
out on a
Chandler.
foul ball.
Timeout. We're rewinding. I don't know why you say even. As somebody who sat the bench for many days,
You learned
in
how to
my
bunt.
baseball, you learn how to bunt because that's what you have
It's the
to
first
do.
thing you do when taking BP. You bunt first, left,
So
right,
don't
middle,
even
and then you
Chandler
hit.
me. I
Even
would lay
Chandler
that
can
down.
do it. It's so easy. Even a caveman can do it. Even
There
Chandler
you
can
go.
do it.
That's not. Don't.
No, but you're right though. If you can't hit, you learn to make the team in other ways, and activate certain skill sets that that makes his speed kill more. Being 99 speed in MLB The Show, or in the real show, I should say, doesn't do a fucking thing for you if you can't hit. If you bunt every time, you have what is he hitting right now? You look it up. Somebody look it up.
Tyler Wade?
got you.
Yeah.
0. He doesn't have a hit.
He doesn't have a hit this year.
He
He
hasn't,
has to have it.
Did he play? I don't think he's played yet.
Hold
No,
on.
he's
hitting 250.
What?
Is he? That's a career high. But what is he? 1 for 4?
Yeah.
Dude,
Exactly.
he has,
He's actually 1 for 4.
yeah.
3 at bats. He has
He's four-
3 at bats
four
this year.
at-bats.
Because 1 for 4
because
today.
of the strikeout on the bunt today.
Yeah, don't come at me like, oh, he's been playing. He played probably 1 game.
No, but we were saying he's been in.
Yeah,
So 1 for 4.
he hasn't started one. He hasn't started one
My
game.
point is, his career batting average is what?
Career batting average is 191.
Okay,
I got 190.
even worse. I truly believe that he would have a better batting average if he bunted every time.
Why didn't we trade him to San Francisco?
Because nobody wants him. He has no value.
I would like to know how that phone call went. Yeah, I'm gonna. Hey, San Francisco, you guys want Mike Tauchman? Yeah, how's
How's nothing
Wandy
sound?
Peralta? That sounds amazing to me. Yeah, dude, what the fuck? These
How's
guys
nothing
are idiots.
sound?
Done. Got it. You want Mike Tauchman for
Eckerton.
free?
Eckerton. You don't even know Eckerton. Moneyball, whatever.
I'm out of here.
We're getting crazy. Let's go.
I'm gonna watch the draft. Jinx.
Let's go Jets.
This is the second time today
Let's go
that we've
Jets.
jinxed each other. Free Mike King. Yeah, that's